there.
What is going on, everyone, and welcome to another race here in the Sunday Night No-Toad Racing League Cup Series. Tonight they are racing at Gateway, Worldwide Technology, whatever you want to call it. I'm joined tonight by Daniel Paulus. What's going on, Daniel?
Nothing much. How about you?
Doing pretty good. Oh, whoa, wrong thing. Just got done doing a race here myself, but we are using open setups, and we got to shift down to third. Someone put in track notes that these guys would probably be shifting down to fourth. Practice ends, and we should start qualifying right about now.
All right. 16 field. 16 car field. Not bad tonight. Not bad. Oh, 20 gets a little loose.
17, Gary didn't put in the laps. And like always, got to keep your eye on that 125, Mr. Benjamin Nelson.
Why?
So, Benjamin raced in 2019 in the Pro Series, back when it was called the Peak Antifreeze Series. So, he has raced with the pros and all that fun stuff. Every time we see him out on track, he's definitely one to dominate.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go onboard with him here. We'll see what he's doing. Really aggressive downshift in the third. Early on, Nelson at a 34.6. That's crazy. That's barely what I can do with this open setup.
Mm-hmm.
Chop put in a nice time.
So do you think the 125 is like the best?
Well, Johnny Brugg isn't here. He's been the only one to really kind of keep up with them, both in this series and the ARCA series. So, Nelson knows how to save tires better than anybody else here. I mean, every time we log in, Nelson is definitely the one to watch to win the race. Seeing a new guy I haven't seen before, Joseph Friday. He's new to the Sunday night series. Currently third. That's to say that he gets knocked down by Dixon.
Mm-hmm.
Did I just lose packets? No, Nelson's just parked on track. Okay. Two minutes left in qualifying. Still waiting on two people to put in times. Giberson and Gary Sargent. Actually, Gary Sargent's out on track right now. Or he was, at least. And Sarge is blinking for me. He is the only one that's blinking. Oh! Almost kisses the wall there. Oh, we got time real quick. Let's go ahead and put on Nelson before this race starts and give a Professor A. Chat. What is going on, Ben?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, took a week off, and you're back here once again, dominating the session, dude. Talk us through some of the difficulties we might see these guys throughout the race.
This thing is unruly. It doesn't want to turn. It doesn't want to stop. Doesn't want to go. It's all over the place. This track is tough, so gonna be struggling with the car a lot tonight.
Now, I was on board with you. I think it was going into turn 1. I saw you do a really aggressive downshift. Is that something we're going to see during the race from you, or is that just for qualifying?
It does help slow the car down, and that is one of the main difficulties with this car. It doesn't want to slow down very well, so maybe. But I'm gonna try to not burn my tires up on entry. Like that could be really easy to do with this, because you know even in the truck you brake way later than this. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh, my bad. Go ahead.
I was gonna say I don't know how it's gonna go, but I'm gonna have to be a little conservative. You know, people are gonna run over each other if not.
Yeah, I was asking because, as you know, I usually do the same track you guys are doing. You know, I just got done racing here an hour ago, and I was asking about the downshift in third because I made the mistake of being too aggressive and almost spun myself out.
Yeah, actually, I did that in practice into 3. I downshifted too early, and that's gonna have to be something I watch out for.
All right, man. Well, good luck tonight leading the field green here, and more than likely see you back here at the end of the race. Whether it be P1, we'll find out.
All right, thank you.
Dang allergies, man. Well, let me get this to laps. Only 100 laps. Wow, short race here tonight for these guys. Let's go ahead and really quick look at the race info. We pull that up. Holy goodness, 110 degree track temp, and he thinks it's still hard to turn. That's insane. So pretty hot out there, 9 degrees, 110 track temp. As we go ahead and show our official grid. Whoops, hide that. Benjamin Nelson getting up pole position. Chase Wallbang Harden. And outside pole. Row 2, you got Alan Dixon and Joseph Friday. Row 3, Nick Sosha and Jess Traub. Row 4, Joseph Willoughby, Alex Chase. Row 5, Mitchell Williams and Michael Nash. Row 6, TJ Warren and Duke Davis. Excuse me. Row 7, Justin Adams and James Beck. Row 8, Mike Rentz, the boss man himself, Gary Sargent. And round out the field in 17th in row 9 is Michael Giverson. Well, I don't know if you've ever raced here before, but this track it's brutal. It's brutal on tires. It's it's a challenge. Like I said, I just raced here, and you have to hit your marks perfect going into the corner. If you miss the entry, you're washing up the track, and if someone's above you, there's gonna be a wreck.
Yeah, and like you said, this track, it does eat your tires a lot. So I do expect that to happen here, and you don't want to push too hard early on because your tire wear is just going to be dreadful. As you see, our flag man has the green flag.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of starter camp. Probably won't use this one again. Usually it's not sitting that far up, but I don't think too bad, actually.
Green flag, green flag.
Green flag's going to come out, and Benjamin Nelson, Chase Harding leads the green here. 100 laps of racing.
Oh, really? Boy. See what happens here.
And you all have to excuse me, I'm getting over a really bad sinus infection, so I'll have to mute my mic here and there to not blow your eardrums out coughing.
As you see, the 125 Nelson taking the lead here early on lap 1. Right behind him is the 39 of Hardin trying to work the outside lane, but he's going to duck right behind the 125 Nelson as a complete lap 1. Everybody looks like they're single file. So far, so good. Let's see if we can keep it that way.
Yeah, and something happened to the 121 on that restart. He's already lost 4 spots, now 5 spots where he started at. I think that's a good product of being on the outside, not able to get down, something we see a lot at short tracks like Martinsville and Richmond, and definitely the case here tonight is he is still dropping. Can't get behind the 60 quite yet.
As you see the 121 still battling with the 60 of Nash. They're going to be side by side coming out of turn 4. But it looks like the 121 is going to find him a spot and just duck in right behind the 60 now, as you see the 6 of Warren going on the inside of the 121. Now, I don't know if you saw this, Isaac, but on the first lap, I did see debris coming off one of the cars, so I'm wondering if it was the 121 that brushed the wall a little bit.
It possibly could have been. But yeah, he slotted in. That's really the only biggest position change throughout the race so far. I mean, here early on, top four still the same. Got a couple people up some spots in 5th and 6th. 7th is still the same. Joseph Willie, where he started at here early on. And Mitchell Williams up too. Other than that, not a lot of changes here early on. As I say that, Justin Adams, he's fallen back 4 spots from where he started. Sosha's going to lose another spot to TJ Warren. And I know Chase pretty well. I don't like that paint scheme. But Chase's biggest issue is, and we're going to see it as the run progresses, is he is really hard on his tires. So he's keeping up with Nelson for now. I say give it 5 to 10 more laps, so we're starting to see Chase fall back because you saw Dixon wash up the track. Because there's a car way up the track, and the Swedish Fish car.
That's the one thing you don't want to do, though, Isaac. You don't want to run really hard first on, because it's just going to be really hard for you to gain positions, and you're just going to fall back.
Yeah, you gotta be like someone like Chase right now. Ooh, getting loose off that corner. You kind of just want to settle in right here. And another thing I forgot to mention is if we ride on board here as Chase, if I can find the camera. There it is. We ride on board here as Chase, and something I had noticed when I was racing this race an hour ago is where he is at right now. He is in that perfect spot to get really tight on corner exit right here. Right there on that back bumper, this car gets super tight. And you see Chase having to check up there a little bit because he knew he was getting a little too tight. He was about to hit the wall.
Well, I mean, he is there. I just don't think he's going to make a move right now. As you see the 125 Nelson washing up the track there a little bit. First and second place are pulling away from the rest of the field, but don't count out who's sitting in 3rd place right now of the 95 of Friday. He could still have something to say here.
Yeah, he actually just got around Dixon on the last lap by for 3rd. If we got a battle for 5th back here with Joseph Willoughby and Jess Traub. We go check on our defending series champion. That is the 60 of Michael Nash, looking to the inside of Alex Chase. Alex Chase starting to fall back a little bit.
Nice looking paint scheme there on the 54 of Chase.
Yeah, it's the wrong flavor though. I love those energy drinks, but I don't like Swedish Fish. So I can't say I don't like the flavor. I haven't tried it, but if I don't like Swedish Fish, why would I like the flavor of that drink? Because they've actually, that brand Ghost, we'll actually do a zoomed in on here. We'll talk about Ghost real quick. That energy drink brand Ghost, they do a really good job replicating the flavors that they're promoting. Like they have a sour watermelon from Warheads. It's actually sour watermelon. Like you would not tell you're drinking it. Yeah. So when you grab one that's candy flavored, it actually tastes like the candy you're eating. They have another one that's like a blue raspberry something.
They do have Sour Patch Blue Raspberry.
Thank you. That's what it was. Sour Patch Blue Raspberry. Yep. I love their Sour Patch one. So
I really wanted to try it, but we ran out at my local store.
Yeah, no. If you're looking for a good energy drink that I can't say healthy for you. There's no energy drink healthy for you, but it doesn't give you a lot of crash. Ghost is the way to go. But back to the lead. The lead's starting to grow there a little bit. Up to 3/10 now.
Looks like everybody's going to stay single file here. And the top 2 drivers have pulled away here on lap 11 out of 100. And I don't know why, but I feel like if these drivers push too hard and their tires start giving out, they're going to start spinning around. So I think these drivers are just being really cautious right now with their cars, just seeing how it handles, and take it from there. If they need to change something, they'll come in during pit stops.
Yeah, we got a side-by-side battle here, and looks like TJ Warren had issues not too long ago. Really running in that 13th spot. We got a green flag run. Let's go see what happens here to the 6th machine. Oh, there's that downshift I was talking about. There with Nelson. Oh! Well, I'm pretty sure if I go cockpit view with the 6 here, we're going to see him downshift too quickly.
Can't do that or else the rear will come around.
I can find it. There it is. Go cockpit here. Right on board here.
Right there.
Oh, yep. He went into second. There it was. Great job collecting that car,
second,
though, and not collecting the 121. Back to the live race. Looks like Nash was finally able to get around Traub. As Nash kind of struggles a lot of the tracks we go to on that short run. Doesn't really qualify too well, but he's already up 3 spots here in lap 13.
I wouldn't count out the 60 of Nash just yet. I mean, it's still pretty early on in this race. You know, they could be struggling or they could just be taking it easy right now. There's no reason to push. As you see the 125 of Nelson now coming off turn 4, I think he's pushing it a little too hard because now he's starting to get really loose, and that is an effect from the tire wear, I believe.
I think that was more of he had got down on the apron, a corner exit there, and it loosened the car up a little bit.
And that.
Also, keep an eye on Friday. That gap is really closed with really the leader and a chase. He was, I think, at 1.5 back and now up to 0.8 off. Take a look at his last lap time. Nope, it is not working. Stupid SDK sometimes, I swear. That gap now down to an 8 for Friday. Like the Joseph Friday, I think the new addition. I have never seen him in running the Sunday night series, running a, I think that's the Bubba Wallace scheme that he ran at the All-Star race.
Mm-hmm.
We got some more battling going on back here. Will it be getting around Dixon? Dixon starting to fall back, and here comes Michael Nash to the inside as well. Oh, and Trump gets in the back of Dixon!
Oh, he's getting... Don't get in so
What
hard.
a save!
Wow. Now that was an impressive save. As you see, 24 now trying to get back up to speed.
Let's go back
Take a
and
look
see
at our
what
replay here.
happened here with Straub and Dixon.
Wow.
And Dixon, what a save that was. And he stayed out of the wall. Wow. Lost some ground, but... Oh, yellow's out. James C. Beck having issues. And we'll have to go back and watch something else. TJ Warren went back off track again. It might have been because of this.
Um...
Oh, he just got on the gas too soon. Oh, yep, that's where it was. TJ off track. Ooh. And there we'll go TJ's fast repair.
Wow. That's a shame.
And these guys, and here's the kicker. These guys only have 3 extra set of tires. We're only 17 laps in. I don't know if you take a set right now. I mean,
if it was
a
me,
risky call.
If it was me, I would not take tires. I would just take fuel.
If it was
I would
me,
save the tires for the end.
If it was me, I would take tires here because I know how long these green flag runs for these guys can go, and I'm pretty sure they're all gonna be taking tires. Here comes everyone down pit lane.
Guess we'll find out. As you see, the 125 of Nelson making his way down pit road, bringing the rest of the field down with him.
Yeah, why they're pitting? Let me see if I can't get it up to where. Nope. Damn. Oh, will this show at least? Okay, that will
Let's see
show.
what they
Okay.
take here.
Right side's up on a 125 and the 3. There's the left side's up as the 20 goes out of pit lane already. Nelson will beat him off pit lane. Well, it's actually... Oh, he's not in the chat room. I'd love to pull down Dixon. Let's actually pull down the 20 and get his point of view on what happened there. Hey, what is going on, James? Isaac and Daniel and Booth got a copy?
Yeah, man, I read you.
Hey, man, talk us through that wreck. It looks like you just got on the gas a little too soon there.
I'm sorry, repeat.
I said, talk us through that wreck. It looks like you might have just got on the gas a little too soon there.
Yeah, upshifted in the fourth, and it got loose on me. I tried to back down, and I overcorrected, and it snapped on me.
Yeah, that was a... I guess you got kind of lucky there because you did stay on the outside wall. Unfortunately, you are going to go a lap down here, man. So, hopefully these guys get a quick caution and get back on the lead lap.
Yes, sir. I appreciate it.
No problem. So, Gary's staying out. He's going to assume the lead. How long? Probably not too long. Well, Gary and Ben will be your front row. Then you got Chase and Joseph. In the back to row 3, you'll have Nash and Willoughby. Row 4, Giberson up 9 spots from where he started. He's going to be restarting P8 here.
NCC. Our field making its way back to the start line. Here we go. The 28 Sergeant on the inside. The 125 Nelson on the outside.
Now it is go on leader here. When will Gary go? I think he's going to wait till the green flag, and he does. Hinder him there a little bit. Nelson's going to charge hard on the outside on the fresh Goodyear tires.
Let's see what happens here. Ooh, 125 goes up a little high, but he's going to get that run off to the corner.
Yeah, and the biggest loser of that is Chase Harding going to lose a spot. Being stuck behind Gary. They're going to be going 3 wide into turn 3 here.
I don't know if something happened there on that restart, but look how he's dropping positions here.
He didn't pit. Gary didn't pit for tires. So all these guys are on fresh tires.
That explains it all. He's on old tires.
But Nelson to the lead, and he has a rearview mirror full of that 95 of Joseph Friday. Friday trying to lead his first laps here tonight. I think, like I said, might be the first lap in the series. But he's have a hard task getting around Benjamin Nelson, who I think has won 3 races this season so far.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, if you think about it, this race is going pretty fast. We're already going on lap 22 of 100. And, I mean, these drivers don't look like they're being too aggressive right now, but do you think they're going to get aggressive or, like, later on after halfway?
In my experience broadcasting these guys, they really don't... Let me rephrase that. They race aggressively, but the way they do it is crazy because you'll see some aggressive driving, but there's so much give while they're racing aggressively, it just creates some action-packed driving. Like, these guys make the pros in actual NASCAR look like rookies with how aggressively they race with very few cautions.
Yeah.
But we got, I think, a 5-car breakaway, no, 6-car breakaway from the field right now. And then you have to go back to the 54 of Alex Chase in 7th. He's leading that pack of cars. As TJ Warren is dropping like a rock. What happened to TJ? Alan Dixon. Oh, Alan Dixon hard into the wall.
Wow.
What happened here to Dixon? I just saw that. That was like a camera angle from when Elliott Sadler hit the wall at Pocono.
Well, let's look at a replay here.
Oh, the 48 just got loose getting around him. The inside wall he goes. I want to see what happened to TJ. Though, because TJ dropped like a rock right here. Oh.
Right here. Looks
there
like
it is.
194 may have clipped him here on the right rear. As he slid up.
I don't know. I don't know.
Loose? I don't know. It looked like the rear started coming around. I don't know if the... other car took the air off of the 6 there.
Yeah, I don't know if that was net code or if that was, like you said, the air getting taken off the 6.
That's really hard to judge right there.
Dixon, I believe, had to tow. Yeah, Dixon had to tow, unfortunately. Well, that caution was a big break for Gary. I think he realized in a heartbeat that, hey, taking no tires was a big mistake here.
Well, do you think any of these drivers are going to come in pit road, or do you think they're just going to stay out now?
I don't know because it is close on fuel right now. Someone was saying how the fuel window is 70 to 71 laps. So, whoa, what in the... Oh. I was like, what just happened to Ben?
I don't know what just happened there, but okay.
He was playing around with the little cut out in the wall. Let's go ahead and ask Ben. We'll pull him down. Hey, what is going on, Ben?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, man, having a solid race here so far. We were talking about fuel. Someone said in Discord that it was 70 to 71 laps. What are you looking at fuel-wise?
It's not a full tank, so it's looking like 46, maybe? Something around there.
You guys run 65%, correct?
Something like that. It's either 60 or 65.
Okay.
It's 13 gallons.
I think it's 65. Yeah, 65. Alrighty. That answers that question. Well, leading this race so far, you've had two different guys behind you. Of those two guys, Chase and Joseph, who I think Joseph's new, correct me if I'm wrong, who do you think your biggest contender would be?
It's hard to say. Hasn't really been a long run yet, but they're both pretty good. I would say either one of them could do something. It's really hard to say, but they're both keeping up, that's for sure. On that shorter run that we had, I guess not this one, but the first one, it was they were both pretty good, I would say. So I'm not gonna let my guard down.
Yeah, it's too bad we didn't got Brog out here tonight.
Yeah, he doesn't usually race Sunday.
All right, man. Good luck the rest of the race.
Thank you.
Yeah, I forget these guys do run 13 gallons of fuel, which is only a gallon more than what I run an hour prior, so I should have known. It was like 45 laps or so. The 60%, you're getting about 40 to 41. So from here, it is a two-stop race regardless. Well, before the guys take green, I gotta go get something to drink. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Alright, I am back. Hopefully I don't sound like I'm choking now.
Do we have a YouTube channel?
Do we? Yes, we do. I'm actually live on our YouTube. I go live on my Twitch and NoToad's YouTube channel. Just type in NoToad Racing League.
I was looking for the YouTube channel to watch it after, but...
I'll put it in the Discord after the race.
Alright.
Where's my starter cam? There it is. Ben and Joseph leaves green, was chasing the other Joseph right behind him. But Ben got a really good start. It is go on leader here in No Toad, so see what Chase does on the inside of Friday.
Yeah, you lagged out there a little bit.
Yeah, I just lost race sound, so I'll just be broadcasting with no race sound. Hopefully the
Oh.
stream still has it. Let me check. No, the stream does not have sound.
Can they hear us talking right now or no?
Yes, they can. Give me a second, guys. Let me fix that.
As you see, the 125 of Nelson's still on the lead here, coming on to lap 30 now. As you see right behind him, the 95 of Friday has been very strong all day since the start. Third place is 39 of Harden, another strong driver. The top three are really strong right now, but the 18, we haven't really talked about the 18 and the 16 recently, but they are cracking their way into the top five right now. So,
all right, there we go.
do
We
you
got
think
sound back.
they have a chance?
As far as Joseph Willoughby goes, he has speed, but he also kind of becomes a product of his own mistakes or other people's mistakes. So if he can keep that car clean, he might have a shot at a top 3. I don't know if really anyone has anything for the 125.
Yeah, the 125's been the strongest here tonight, and he's been leading this race pretty much the whole time. So, yeah, I think it's going to be kind of hard to beat the 125 tonight.
Yeah, I remember we did a race at Bristol last season. He legit won the race by lapping the whole field.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah, so far Willoughby having a pretty good outing. Up 3 spots from where he started at. Mitchell Williams as well having a good outing. He's up 5. Michael Nash in 6. He's up 3. So a lot of guys up some spots, and then you drop down here to TJ Warren and Sosha. They're down a couple spots. Sosha down 8 spots from where he started at. So Sosha really struggling here. Sosha qualified, I think, 3rd, and still falling back some more as Dixon's able to get around him. Dixon's some couple laps down. Gary's going to be looking to the inside of the 44, Mike Rentz. He's getting around him, as I believe that is the 55 of Duke Davis looking to the inside as well. That's a cool pace scheme. I gotta look at that one.
Yeah, there's a little battling going on here and there. But look at that Slurpee car.
I was about to say 7-Eleven, and if you guys aren't aware what 7-Eleven is, I love 7-Eleven. They actually have days, a couple times throughout a year, you bring your own cup. It could be a 20-gallon cooler. You can fill it up with whatever you want. So, rocking a good Slurpee paint scheme here tonight.
Makes me thirsty for one.
Yeah, makes me want to go to Sonic. Give me a slushie right now.
There you go.
In the meantime, Nelson building back a 3/10 second gap over Joseph Friday in 2nd. Chase Harden right on that back bumper. I think Chase Harden's just in a spot where you can't get around. This track is so hard to pass on. You have to set up a pass coming off the corner. I mean, with how hard it is to get these cars slowed down, dive bombing is just not an option here. Oh, Chase, hold on to it.
Oh, he's on the ruffle strips. That might send him around, but he kept it straight. Wow, that was a big save there.
He's going to lose a couple spots, and now you got the Joseph and Joseph show in 2nd and 3rd. Willoughby and Friday.
Didn't lose much ground, but he's going to have to make his way back up there, and it's pretty tough to do that.
Yeah, he already gained a spot back. He did lose a spot to 16 of Mitchell Williams, already back up in that 4th position.
I don't know. It looks like he's fighting with the car a little bit right now. It looks like it's a little too loose. See him shifting there in the turns.
I'm almost surprised he didn't go down to 3rd right here.
Oh, he might shift up to 5th. Let's see. And then he's going to shift all the way back down to 4th. 3rd, right there.
Yeah, he entered way late, though. He walked way up the track right there.
Yeah, he's going to lose a lot of ground here now to the drivers in front of him. It looks like he's struggling a little bit after that.
I think he's pushing too hard, trying to play catch up or trying to get back in his rhythm, and he needs to kind of just run the race he's racing before. He'll catch back up to these guys eventually.
For sure.
But back to our leader, Benjamin Nelson, getting that lead up to about 4/10, slowly but surely putting a bigger gap on that 95 of Joseph Friday. In the meantime, the 18 of Joseph will be trying to catch up to the 95. It's kind of weird looking at the track map. We have two distinct packs. You have the lead pack led by Benjamin Nelson with, I think it's Duke Davis bringing the rear this one up. No, Duke Davis leading the second one. Alex Chase bringing the rear this one up. And they got the second pack led by Duke Davis with everybody else. That gap starting to close as Joseph Friday brought it down to 2/10. We heard Nelson say about 46 laps of fuel. These guys are looking about 22 laps right now. We had a couple caution laps in there. You could probably go to about 47 or 48 laps on this stint. I'll probably be coming in about lap 66-ish.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, we're literally 10 laps away from the halfway mark here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. I mean, what do you think of this track? Do you think it's a good track to race on?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm leaning more towards no. Just because I have never had a more difficult time slowing a stock car down at a track before. Mm-hmm. But yet again, these cars are really glued to this track. I mean, when I was racing here an hour ago, or now about an hour and a half ago, even on 40 lap old tires, I wasn't really breaking free off the corners. I was getting plowing tight. So, right. I think that's all drive depending. Me personally, I like a track where the car's harder to handle, where it gets looser. I don't like a track where the car's glued to it. So, me personally, no. But if you have someone who likes a tight track, yeah, they're going to like this one.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I love the Gen 4 so much. And that's going to be happening tomorrow night. Because those cars are so hard to handle. You're breaking loose almost every time you enter a corner. And it's really fun. It adds a whole new challenge to racing here in iRacing. But that lead is really starting to grow here. Really, the last 3 laps or so, it's up to a second already. Will be starting to fall back as well. Will be starting to fall back 2.5 seconds back. And now he has a 3. Chase Harden right on that back bumper. Chase trying to regain some ground he lost after getting loose off that quarter. You see Chase there try to get the run corner exit. Looks like he might have got a little bit tight and had to second guess it. Oh, Chase gonna try to pass on the outside. Okay.
I mean, that could work. The outside does work here. It's just that you have to have a really good setup.
Actually, you know what? I know what he did. He went high there to set up a diamond on corner exit. Smart move there by the 39 to Chase Harden to set up a pass on the 18 and get around him on the front stretch. Oh, and he's gonna get loose.
The 3 again. He's in the grass
again. Hard in the wall.
That is gonna damage that rotor right there.
And I wouldn't be shocked if Chase toes and disconnects. Let's actually go on.
That damaged the toe. Like there's like no repair to that.
Yeah, let's go on board here, Chase, and see what happened to the 3 or 39.
He got loose again. Right there.
Yeah, this was too hard on the gas and overcorrected it. Ooh.
Bam. It's a hard lick right there for the left front there of the 3 car. He is done for night here on lap 44. As you see, the 125 of Nelson still in the lead here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. We hope you are enjoying the Cup race. We sure are up here in the booth. As you see, we are looking at the 6 right now, Warren, and right behind him is the 55 of Davis.
Yeah, swap to the 6 as TJ Warren actually just completed that pass on Duke Davis for 7th. I'm not really seeing too many battles go out on track right now. And go to Michael Nash, because I think Michael Nash is slowly but surely chasing down the 3rd place machine, the 18 of Joseph Willoughby. And here in a couple laps, we might see a pass for 3rd. So we still got about probably 15 to 20 laps before we see green flag pit stops. I mean, we went back green flag race, and I think on lap 26, 27. So,
Yep.
if you were smart and you wanted to split this in half, I should say if you were smart, if you wanted to split it in half, I think you'd probably be looking at, so what's that, 74 laps of racing to go. So you would want to pit with about 27 to go. Or not 27, my math is way off. 37 to go.
If it was me, I would try to stretch it out as far as possible. Just because you never know when that caution's gonna come out. And if the drivers that do come into pit road.
Oh, it's working, yes. So, I'm glad you said that.
Well,
the reason
if the
you
drivers
don't
do come into pit road before you, and you try to stretch out the run, and a caution comes out, well, you can go down pit road then. And then they're not going to pit, so they're going to be on old tires on the restart while you have the fresher tires and more gas than them. So that is an advantage, but you're going to have to start behind them.
But here's also the disadvantage stretching out. Benjamin Nelson just ran a 36.1. His best time is a 34.5. So he is already almost a second and a half off his best time. So if, let's say you stay out for 3 to 4 laps, that right there is almost 5 seconds you're losing. So if I'm someone, like if I'm probably in 7th place, if I'm TJ or anyone back there, I'm stretching out hoping for a caution. If you are anyone 6th place or up, you want to try to short pit this as good as you can. And with Joseph building this big lead too, or not Joseph, my bad, Benjamin, he can really stay out. He has a second and a half lead, so that right there is a lap. A lap extra he can stay out when the 95 pits. And also, you also got to remember here at Gateway, you have to use the access road. You cannot pit coming off 4. You have to hit the access road coming into 3.
And you don't want to get on the rumble strips too, because that will make your car go around.
These guys have reached the halfway mark. I think we've had 2 cautions. 2 or 3 cautions for 50 laps. Everyone kind of single filed it out. You see a big group of cars back here on the track map around Duke Davis and Gary Sargent. But for the most part, really not seeing anything that would cause a caution, as Alex Chase, I think, is starting to catch up to the 60 of Michael Nash. Take a look at some last lap times now that's working. Alex Chase actually running a little bit slower. Coming out of 4, let's see what the times are this time by. Nelson still running a 36.1. Nash is a 36.9, and Chase is a 36.86. So Chase is slowly but surely chasing down that 60. I think Star Wars is what he's running. No, Rugger. I thought it was Star Wars. I thought it was the Republic or whatever. Whatever it is.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we're going to see any more cautions tonight. if they're going to keep going like this. But I mean, I find it an interesting racetrack, Isaac, just to see how these drivers handle throughout the turns. Because, like you said, it's hard on the tires. You want to see how their cars are going to handle, and everybody's setup is different. So you want to see who has the right setup and who is struggling, and see if they can improve throughout the race.
Real quick, I just noticed on Gary's. I gotta take a look at this. That's pretty cool. He had the Ford Mustang logo with a GT500. That's pretty cool right there.
I didn't even notice that.
Yeah, I was
supposed to be on there.
I was just looking at it, and I'm like, that front end looks different than the other Fords. And I'm like, oh, because he has the Mustang logo on there. Here comes Duke Davis the pit lane.
This is what I'm talking about. Do you want to come in early? Well, we're about to find out. See if his strategy works.
Yeah, and Duke pitting, where was he at when he came to pit lane? I think he was in ninth or 10th when he came to pit lane. So we'll see how this shakes out for him.
It was somewhere around the top 10. I know that. Yeah, as you see, the 55 of Davis making his stop. Let's see if he takes 4 tires or 2 tires.
Oops. Brakes go up, and there's the left.
Looks like we're taking 4.
Yeah, this really isn't a track you want to take 2 on, though, unless it's like a 10-lap shootout. I could see maybe taking 2 because that would loosen up the car and maybe make it a little bit easier on corner exit. But we still got 45 laps of racing to go. I don't think taking 2 would be a smart idea.
And you especially don't want to go a lap down if we're going to have these green flag runs. Because if you get a lap down, we're just going to keep going with green flags. You're never going to get a lap down.
Nelson with a big wiggle coming off the corner there.
Lap traffic in the way there.
Yeah, here at Gateway, here comes Alex Chase to pit lane. You're going to go at least 1 lap down pitting.
Let's see if anybody else follows the 55 strategy.
Ooh, Alex Chase actually has a ton of front end damage.
There's the 54.
Wow!
Oh, wow, that's a lot of damage to the front nose. That's going to affect the aero damage.
I think he hit the wall.
Did he get loose? I think we're going to need a replay on that.
Let's go back here. Alright, he's already on.
Way before that.
Rewind and see if we can't see what happened to the 54 of Alex Chase. Oh, wow!
Wow. I don't know how that happened. Let's see.
We're about to find out here.
Coming out turn 2. Going down the back straightaway. Oh, gets loose.
Yeah, and he just hit that opening right there too. Wham!
Wow.
Well, that's why Alex Chase is going to pit lane.
That's heavy damage to the front end.
Branson Adams came to pit lane while you're watching that replay. Yeah, I saw him coming up pit lane. I'm like, that front end looks pretty damaged, and it was. Now we got some cars coming to pit lane. Here in a bit, I'll pull up the pit strategy and see what else everyone else is doing. Duke Davis already back up to 11th spot from pitting early like that. Like I said, I can see these guys probably coming in within the next 5 laps. As Joseph Friday's done a really good job sticking with Benjamin Nelson here. He's only a second and a half off the pace. If I'm Friday, you have to pit a lap ahead of Nelson. You cannot pit with him. You got to get that lap advantage on him. And with pit lane being so weird here, you also got to wonder who practiced entering pit lane. Because if you miss pit lane here, you're going into the wall. You're going to go through the grass into the wall.
You don't want to speed coming on the pit road or get any sort of penalty, because that is going to be so crucial.
Well, with the access road being in effect here at Gateway, I noticed it's a little bit more trickier to speed here because you're already going pretty slow on that apron. But it's getting to that apron and not going into the grass or overshooting the entry that you got to worry about.
True, true.
Like, I would be surprised someone gets caught speeding. So 48 is still on pit lane. I wonder if he has a ton of damage. He might have a penalty, actually. But Joseph Friday's starting to close that gap. Take a look last time by. Friday almost 2/10 quicker than Nelson. Yeah, if I'm Joseph Friday, you gotta short pit Nelson here. This time by Nelson.
I believe Nelson's going to come within the next 5 to 10 laps. Not even.
Well, let's see who's pitted so far. So here's everyone out on track.
I don't see him staying out much longer. I really don't.
The only 3 people that pitted so far have been Davis with a short pit strategy. He pitted right at the moment when you can make it on fuel. Chase, who had to pit because of damage, and Rents. Those are the only 3 guys to pit so far in this run. I think that gap's still closing. Take a look last time by. Nelson a little bit quicker than Friday. Those 2 are the only 2 guys still in the 30-second range. That is insane. Everybody else running 37th, and these 2 guys driving away in the 36-second range. We got TJ Warren going at it. Nope. Joseph Willoughby coming to pit lane. That's what it was. So Willoughby coming in. Friday coming in. That's what I was talking about. Friday had to short pit him. I would not be surprised if Nelson does not come in this time.
I wouldn't be surprised either.
We'll see what Nelson does here. Yep, Nelson coming in this time by.
Alright. So now the 95 pitted earlier in Nelson. Do you believe the 95 is going to be the strongest one out here?
I don't know. Nelson is so strong coming on and off pit lane. That's been one of his really biggest strengths throughout, other than being just godly fast, is the fact that he can get on and off pit lane quicker than anybody else at every track we go to. So when Friday came in, he was about 1.3 seconds behind Nelson. Nelson's in pit lane, and Friday's just coming out of pit lane. Keep an eye on that track map at the top right corner of your screen. You'll see the 125 kind of blurred out or faded out. Let's see when he starts moving off of pit lane. Here comes Friday through 3 and 4. That is. Oh, Friday can get around Nelson. Yep.
Oh boy.
Maybe this is a slower corner.
This is gonna be interesting.
He's gonna be right there at Nelson. There's Nelson. I think that gap's about the same.
I don't know. I mean, it's going to be very interesting.
But in the meantime, I'll be watching this. Mitchell Williams, your new leader, but oh, he's probably pitting this time. He got really loose there. Yeah, here comes Mitchell to pit lane. No? Yes? Yes. Oh, and that's what I was talking about right there!
Oh, he's gonna miss it.
That's what I was talking about. The entry to pit lane is so weird here. Well,
so sharp, and you can't get in the grass or else it'll mess you up.
So we talked about him earlier. Here's Duke Davis. First one to pit. It paid out for him. Now the question is, will those 10 lap older tires wear out too quickly? He's moved his way up to 5th. Up 4 spots from where he was when he pitted.
His strategy might have played out right here. Let's see what happens as we are in the closing laps here. This is time to go. I mean, there's no time to stop. If you're going to want to try to get to the front, go for it now.
Yeah, and that gap between Friday and Willoughby, or Friday and Nelson, now down to just 0.8 of a second. As Williams, pretty sure he did get a black flag hold penalty for unsafe pit entrance, because your commitment line to enter pit lane is is the entrance to turn 3. So if you run up in the grass, come back on track like what he did, you're going to be having a hold penalty. Actually, Duke Davis just moved himself into 4th. Got around our defending series champion.
I mean, look at the 95 of Friday in 2nd place. He's actually gaining on the leader of Nelson.
Yeah, ran a little bit quicker the last time by.
Nelson ran a 35.06, while Friday ran a 35.05. So currently, right now, Friday is faster than the 125 Nelson. I feel like if he can just sniff the 125's draft, he's got a chance.
A little bit slower that last time. Now, one of the things I did notice last run with this 95 machine is he was able to keep up on the short run. Then middle of the run, he started to fall back, and then he started gaining that time back in long run. If he can put together all three of those runs together, he might have a shot here at Nelson.
I think it's going to be a battle between the top 2 drivers.
Oh, for sure. Unless we see a caution, I don't see anyone else being in contention, as we'll be 14 seconds off pace. Well, let's go ahead and ride on board with a lap here of the 95s, and we'll ride on board here with a lap or 2 with him and see how him and Nelson drive differently. So we'll go to Nelson next. The Friday going down in the 3rd gear in both corners. That gap now down to 4/10 as they go down the front stretch. Right on board here is Nelson. See what Nelson's doing.
See how he's running. He's really close to the wall on the back straight. Now, watch as he goes into the turn. I bet he's going to shift down to 3rd gear right there. He's hugging that line, but look at his car doesn't even wash up the track, and that's what's helping him. But look at the 95 of Friday closing in once again on the 125 of Nelson.
So, one of the main things I just noticed differently is Nelson is not going into 5th gear down the backstretch. He is staying in 4th. Friday is going into 5th. There's 4th, and watch, Nelson's going to stay in 4th until he enters turn 3.
Now, do you think he's doing that just to try to save his tires?
I don't know. I mean, I always thought that downshifting like that helps you save tires, so you're not putting as much force.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, because if you're downshifting, you're not using the brakes as much, not putting as much front weight on those tires going into the corner. You're letting the transmission do the job, as we got the 25 to go this time by. Because he's in 4th all the way, and here comes their 5th. It's almost like Friday is using that 5th gear just as an extra gear to help him slow down going into corner entry of 3.
Yeah.
Well, we got a good run going here. Taking a look at everyone's differing pit strategy. You see Duke Davis there in 5th with that short pitch. And Alex Chase actually was a great recovery from pounding that wall. He's still sitting in 6th place. Now, Duke Davis was in 8th or 9th when he did pit, so he is already up 3 to 4 spots by short pitting like that. I think we just popped them at SDK, Nick Nosh and Gary Sargent going back to back and forth, I should say, for 10th. Take a look at that.
Oh, he's gonna. Oh wow! I thought he clipped the wall there for a
Wow, I
second.
did too.
Wow, that was close. I don't know how, but if that was me, I would have wrecked.
Now, here's the interesting thing. TJ Warren, he's in a chat room with Nelson. How much is he going to fend off Nelson here to stay on the lead lap with Friday right on that back bumper? That's Friday trying to come to victory lane here on Sunday. Maybe he should change his last name. Dives in him really deep there. You saw him really close the gap in corner entry of 3. There was 22 to go, coming to 21. These guys still within 0.2 of a second. This brings me back to the finish of the Darlington race between Michael Nash and Benjamin Nelson. Take a look at some last lap times. Whoops, let's go to this one. There we go. That's what I want. As if you see it in, if it's a green, that means Friday was quicker. If it was orange, it means Nelson was quicker. But Friday a little bit quicker that last time by. Friday put a really good run of laps in here. 4 laps in a row. He's been quicker than Nelson, and between all 4 laps, it's made up about 0.2 of a second. Oh, TJ Warren's going to slow down Nelson there a little bit. He'll allow Friday to close that gap.
95 is right there. What would he do?
This time by, Friday more likely to be quicker. He is 5 laps in a row. Friday has closed that gap. He just lost so much time there in corner entry, though. That gap went from about a 0.16 to a 0.30, closing that gap down the backstretch thanks to the draft these guards produce. I will say this. I saw something very interesting to close out the race I was in. The final laps of that race, I saw the top 3 doing what IndyCar does at Indy, going back and like down to the line, back up the wall. I'm like, what are these guys doing? They were trying to break the draft. Friday about 0.12 off that time by. The next turn line to 55, Duke Davis. How much will Duke Davis hold off Benjamin Nelson? Looks like Duke's just going low, and Nelson going to catch Duke probably at a weird time here. Going to have to pass him on the high side going into 1. Allow Friday to close the gap, and it does.
Look at how close that 95 is, and look at the different lane he's running compared to the 125. There are the lap times on the bottom of your screen right there.
I switched it around, so now it's opposite. Green, Nelson was faster. Red, Friday was faster. Yeah, Nelson has added about a 0.2 second gap on the 95 here in these last 3 laps. And this is what I was talking about. Here's the mid-run right here that Friday really started to lose ground. We're starting to see that. As I don't think there's really enough of a lap for him to really close the gaps once we get to about 5 to go. Yeah, that's another 0.2 gain for Nelson. Well, while we got this long green flag run, let's go ahead and go over the broadcast schedule, because, like I said, these guys run every day of the week.
Oh, yeah.
Nelson's finals lap traffic here. So, next week, the Cup Series will be back live, racing at Sonoma. I'll have to ask Gary if he wants to broadcast or not, since it's a road course race. We'll see if Sonoma is broadcasting. And then we still got another race going on tomorrow night at the Gen 4 ARCA cars. We'll go to the bumpy Legacy, Texas. That should be fun. Get a 900 horsepower on a track that has a ton of bumps. Oh Lord. As Johnny Brugg should be back for that race. Johnny Brugg did miss last week, so every race Johnny Brugg has been at in the ARCA series, he has won. Currently, technically on a 3-race win streak, because he did not race last week at Iowa. And then also don't forget, after next week, we will have off a week for Father's Day, so we will not be racing after Sonoma.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I always thought Iowa was a nice track to race at.
Oh, I love Iowa, also because I love short tracks. I'm a short track person, which is weird because I don't like this track. But I guess technically it's not a short track because it's a mile in the corner, but it races like a short track.
It does.
Now you put me on a track like Richmond, Iowa, Martinsville, Bristol. I love racing those tracks. I'm a short track racer. I get New Hampshire, although New Hampshire's technically not a short track. I don't like Dover though, which is weird because Dover kind of like Bristol.
Dover is okay. I like Martinsville though.
Me and Martinsville's love hate. Like, if I can get a good green flag or lap run, I love Martinsville. I just don't like it because you were racing at Martinsville. Out of 100 laps, you're looking about 75 laps under caution. Yeah, Nelson really starting to build that gap out now to 2.3 seconds. And if it wasn't for Friday, not Joseph Nelson, there it is, Benjamin. But Nelson really starting to build that gap up here in the closing laps, coming to 9 to go, up to 3.5 seconds now, or 3.2 seconds. Nelson is really starting to drive away from this.
I really thought the 95 had it there for a second because he was closing in. But it looks like the 125 is still pulling away.
Yeah, he tried to, He tried to chase him down. He got up there. He was within, I think the closest he got was within a tenth, but just could not get around him. And with how hard it is to pass track, he might have been able to fend Nelson off. But he just wore stuff up too much trying to catch him. 8 to go, 4-second gap. Wow. Nelson looking to get around the 60 machine as Gary Sargent and Michael Giberson are going at it back here. This is for 9th. Nick Sosha's there as well. All these guys on lap now, fighting it out for every point they can get. Every point matters here. As the championship's decided who has the most points throughout all the races, with your 2 worst races being dropped. So you can miss a championship by 1 point. You look back at a race like this, like, man, I wish we got that one spot from Giberson. But Duke Davis still up a couple spots where he pitted at. He's still up to 2 or 3 spots running in that 6th position.
Not that night.
Nelson's trying to get around Nash, but Nash is doing everything he can to hold him off. You see Nash taking away that high line. As I say, I think Nash is just going to let him by. Yeah, Nash is going to let him by here. 6 to go this time by.
Well, Isaac, what do you think of today's race? And do you think it was a race we expected where we were going to have long green flag runs, or were you expecting more cautions?
Oh, no. Oh, dang it. I'm afraid of me. Every time I load into the No-Toe series, especially the Cup series, I expect the long green flag runs, very few cautions.
Right.
So it does not surprise me that these guys have only had 2 cautions here. Still a couple laps to go for one to happen. Don't think it will. As I'm watching Duke Davis here, this is actually a battle for position with the 20 and the 55. You got to battle it out for 6. As Nick Socha gets around Gary. That is for 10th. There's still a couple battles going out there on track for position.
Right.
Here comes James Beck.
I mean, I thought it was an okay race. I just can't wait to see what happens at Iowa, because that is a track that I love.
Oh no, Iowa was last week. This week they're at Legacy, Texas.
Oh, okay, never mind then. Okay, then I can't wait to see what they do at Texas.
I'm kind of curious how Legacy, Texas is going to go, because with those cars having all that horsepower and very little traction and all those bumps, I'm really curious how they're going to be able to handle that car there.
No, I am too. You never know.
Duke Davis
As you see the 125 there.
Yeah, we're going to Duke Davis here. Falling back another spot to the 25. Next car for position for Duke's Alex Chase, but Alex Chase is way too far back, so pending a caution, Duke Davis looking to get himself a 7th place finish. Looks like short pit and did gain him a couple spots. Probably not as much as he was hoping for, as 2 to go. Cross sticks this time by. Nelson with a 5-second gap on Joseph Friday.
Alright. With 2 to go, looks like 125 Nelson has pulled away with a 5-second gap over the 95 Friday. What do you think the 95 Friday could have done to get past the 125 in Nelson tonight?
I don't know. Nelson was just so strong on the long run. Only thing he could do is figure out how to save his tires while trying to complete a pass, and that's not hard to do anywhere you go, as we got the white flag. Alex Chase having issues. Let's go back and see what happened with Alex. Just kind of curious what happened here, Mr. Chase. Oh, just looks like same thing that happened to him earlier. Yeah.
Same spot.
And thankfully, Nelson probably thinking, thank God I got that white flag, because that would have been a caution for sure.
Yeah.
Checker flag is out. Mike Brent's going on and off the track. Nelson going to win yet again here in the Sunday night No-Toe series. Joseph Friday will get 2nd, and Joseph Willoughby, about a lap behind the leader, he's going to come across 3rd.
Good job for him. Well, that was dominated by the 125 tonight. 95 there, congratulating the 125 there, giving him a little bump there.
What happened to Willoughby? What is going on?
Oh my. As you see, our race winner right there, the 125 Home Depot Chevrolet, my hands now way down to the front straightaway. Burning it down here at Worldwide Technology Raceway. Isaac, what do you say? Should we bring in our race winner?
Yeah, we'll give everyone a second to load into the podium finishers.
Very good racing.
No shocker here. Nelson dominates the field yet again. We wait for these guys to join the podium finishers. If not, I'll just drag them down myself. Oh, Joseph Willoughby's there, so we'll go ahead and give a chat to Mr. Willoughby. What is going on, Joseph?
Oh, my mic's a bit quiet, but it should be alright.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I mean, that was very surprising. I had no practice before, just an hour before the session. Put the lap together.
Yeah, man, coming across P3, I've been broadcasting for a while. I noticed a lot of times you'll be running good, and you'll make a mistake, or you get kind of other people's mistakes. So finally get that finish, you've been looking for. Talk us through that race. It was the Benjamin Nelson show yet again.
Yeah, I know you're saying about me being unlucky, like last week of Gary out of the pits spinning right in front of me. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that was you. That's right. You done Ryan Priest, Gary Sargent there.
Yeah, that was it feels too funny to be annoyed at, but that race, it started out alright. I got to 5th, I think. Was it Nick and Mitchell? I think were very slow off the start. I got them in a couple laps. And I just settled in behind in like 5th. Just kept going around like that. Then I was 4th at some point. I think I was after the first caution. Yeah, I was just following Chase around. I was just putting pressure on him. He made a mistake. I got past him. He just kept chasing me down with the speedy ass on the short run. He got past me, and I was about to make a move back, but he lost it. Unfortunately, it was just about to be good battle.
All right, man. Well, next week we go to Sonoma. You a road course racer, or are you kind of dreading that race?
No, I remember Kota last season. I think I quit like 10 laps before the end because I just had too many instant points.
All right, man. Well, good luck next week at Sonoma, and congratulations on that P3.
Yeah, thank you very much.
All right, next we'll pull in our second place finisher, Mr. Joseph Friday. What is going on?
Hey, what's up?
Hey, man, correct me if I'm wrong, but is this your first race with these guys?
In the Cup Series, yes, sir.
Okay, I was like, your name looked new to me. But, man, first race in the Cup Series, you get second. You were there for a chance to pass the professor. Man, talk us through those closing laps. What you think you can definitely get around him? As you were there. You were within a tenth.
Yeah, I mean, it all started back in the pit lane. I overshot the pit boxes a tiny bit, sliding the tires, so that was pretty much my mistake there, and that cost me every chance I had. So I got up that far back and pretty much pushed it as much as I could, trying to get to him, and well, I realized that halfway through that I was extremely tight on fuel because auto fueling is still not my friend, and so once I couldn't get around him, I had to fall back and just watch him run away. That was not fun.
Yeah, man. Excuse me, I'm still suffering from a good old sinus infection. Like I said, you were there. You were within a tenth with lap traffic, man. Tough break to come up a spot short, but I mean, you gave him a fight for his money, for about 20 laps or so. I would call that a win.
Yeah, let's hope so. I mean, I tried to get one because I got one of the trucks just a few days prior. I wanted to get both.
All right, man. Well, congrats on that P2. We go road course racing next week. Are you a road course guy, or are you just kind of dreading that race?
Well, if I have my way, I'm hoping to win by 30 seconds, but I'm not. I'm probably going to be upside down by lap 3. So let's go.
All right, man. Good luck next week at Sonoma.
Yep, thank you.
All right, next we'll bring in a race winner, Mr. Benjamin Professor Nelson. What's going on, Ben?
Hey, what's up, guys?
Hey, man, I called it out. We'll probably talk to you at the end of this race. Man, you had a little bit of competition there, though, for a bit after that green flag pit stop towards the end of that race.
Oh, yeah. I'm not gonna lie, I am sweating like a pig. That was a lot of work. A lot of shifting, a lot of hairy entrances to the corner. You know, not easy to drive this car on the limit. It's kind of all over the place. So, but I knew that green flag pit stop was going to be good for me. I'm usually pretty good at those.
Yeah, talking through this race, I mean, you're obviously a guy who has more talent in a finger than I do my whole body. Where do you rate this car track combo? To really anything you've raced at before?
That I mean, it's hard to compare it to anything else because this car just feels like it's on top of the track instead of in it. You know what I mean? It's just on skates most of the time. But when you actually get it to hook up on a long run, sort of like I was able to on the last run, it really doesn't fall off if you don't overheat the tires. If you overheat them even once, you're done. So if you got to be really patient, really meticulous with this car on this track. If you slide them on the entry or exit, it's just you're losing half a second a lap after that.
Gotcha, man. Well, I think this is your third win of the season, fourth.
I don't know.
He's like, I don't know. I win too much, but man,
I didn't say that, but I don't know.
We go road course racing next week, and if I'm not mistaken, I think you won Coda last season.
Yeah, road courses are one of my favorite things to do. So
Yeah, and talk us through that real quick, because if you ask me, these next gens are my favorite cars to drive on a road course. You can really use that transmission to help slow you down.
yeah, I'm one of those guys that really prefers the motion of the H pattern. Like I like that a lot. It gets me in the mood a little bit more, but the car itself does handle a bit better on road courses, yes. But I can drive any stock car on a road course. It's so much fun to just wheel them around there, try to get everything you can.
All right, man. Well, congrats on yet another win. Is we gonna see tomorrow night Legacy, Texas?
Oh yeah, that's I've been looking forward to that one since the season started.
Now, I think officials actually went there this week or last week. Did you get a chance to see how those cars handle there yet?
I didn't run the officials, but I ran in a hosted race.
Mm-hmm.
Not long after the Gen 4 came out, and they're just beautiful there. So they may have changed the setup by now, but I'm not sure if they've done. I think we ran like the Atlanta setup or something, but it can't be too different. The car's good, so I hope it's good.
All right, man. Well, congrats on yet another win here in the Sunday night series, as you'll be looking for your first win this season in the Monday series, because Brug's been sweeping the floor with that one. But look forward to seeing you guys race tomorrow night, and good luck.
Thank you.
All right, and that will conclude tonight's race here for the Noto series. As expected, these guys had a long green flag run. Something we see week in and week out. Next week they do go Sonoma, if that broadcast is still up in the air. But tomorrow night for the Gen 4 race, that will for sure be broadcasted. They go racing at Legacy, Texas. And if you ain't got nothing better to do Monday night, come tune in for that, as those Gen 4 guys have been put on a show. As, in case you don't know, every single race this season has been decided by less than half a second. So, we're probably in for another really good one tomorrow in Texas.